Hello, I'm going to show you how to set yourself up for relaxations. It's really important to get as comfortable as you can so that you don't have to worry about the body and you can go deeper into the relaxation. The way that I would normally advise you to set yourself up is to lie on the left side. So lying on your left side, and that doesn't mean that you have to always sleep on your left side. It's just that for the relaxation, and if during labour you want to lie down, the left side is ideal because it helps the baby's positioning. So you can have as many pillows or cushions underneath your head as you want to be comfortable. And then have some extra pillows or cushions handy. So if you're feeling any pain or discomfort around the hips or the pelvis, I would support the top leg. So you can straighten out the bottom leg and have the top leg supported on some cushions. You could have it higher. What you're trying to do is take the weight of this top leg out of the bottom hip so you're a bit more comfortable. So you can have it higher up, resting on a big pile of pillows. And as the pregnancy goes on, so maybe into the third trimester, you might want to have a pillow underneath your bump as well, so that the weight is supported of your baby and it's not pulling on your back. And then you can have the arms wherever is comfortable. And you might want to have a cushion over you, not cushion, a blanket, so that you feel really cozy. And it might not be even for warmth, it just might feel psychologically that you can really relax. And what I'd also recommend, if your back is aching before you lie down for the relaxation, have a hot water bottle and just tuck it in behind you. During labour, if you're listening to a relaxation in the rest and nest stage, 2 water bottles. You can have one wherever you're feeling it most with the contractions at the front, and then one on the back as well. And that will help take the edge off the contractions and just help you manage them for a lot longer. So this is how I would set up. If the baby is in a position that makes it uncomfortable on the left side, feel free to go on the right side and set yourself up exactly like this, but on the other side. Sometimes it's nice to have an option to sit up. So if your hips are a bit uncomfortable, you've got heartburn, whatever the reason, you can set yourself up seated instead. So I'm using a birth ball, exercise ball, gym ball, they're all the same. If you don't have one, you can lean back against a sofa or a bed, but just have a pile of cushions to make sure you're really comfortable. And you need to make sure that your head is supported so it's not sort of falling all the way back. Yeah, that feels good. So my head's not going back, but it feels like the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. And you can have the legs crossed. You could have the soles of the feet together. And in that case, I'd recommend that you have at least one cushion under each knee, maybe a second one. You want to feel like the legs are really supported. So not, when you get halfway through the relaxation, you don't start feeling a pull in the hips. You might want to sit on a cushion as well. So you need lots of props for this one. But what is lovely is that you create a little bit of a back bend and opening across the chest. So that can feel wonderful as the baby gets bigger and it's having an effect on your posture. Another option, which I'd really recommend, is to use a strap. You don't need to have a special yoga strap like I've got here. You can use a dressing gown cord, or not a thin one, but it's not going to dig into your legs. And you can just tie it in a simple knot. A normal belt might be good enough if it doesn't dig into your legs. So you might just need to experiment with what you've got. I like to have it around the lower legs, just below the knees. And you want it, the length to be enough that your knees are going to be slightly wider than your hips. And what we're doing here is letting a deep muscle called the psoas muscle really release. And it's a muscle that goes from the spine to your thigh bone. And it's actually what's involved in being able to walk, that pendulum effect. And it can get quite tight and short and dry. And it's important in birth because if the psoas is tight, then it's restricting the room that your baby has to move down. So this is a lovely way to let that muscle lengthen and release. So just make sure that your legs are slightly dropping out. You're able to relax into the strap. So it's the legs are holding each other up. You're not having to make any effort to keep the legs up. And that means that you can relax into that muscle between the thigh bone and the spine. And then as before, make sure you've got enough behind your head. You can rest your hands on your bump. And it feels really nice. So this is a version of the goddess pose. So I hope when you've completed your relaxation, you feel like a goddess. Enjoy.